सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम्। In the first 7 verses of Bhaja Govindam, Bhagwan emphasized the urgency for making Govinda as our goal. Somebody who has that conviction, Bhagwan said, you can start your journey by inquiring into these 5 questions. Kate Kanta, Kaste Putraha. Who is your wife? Who is your son? Kasya Tvam, to whom do you belong to? Tvam Kaha, who are you? And then Kuta Ayataha, from where have you come? Thinking more than what meets the eye. Means physical body is external appearance. There is something more to our personality than just this physical body. Somebody who can inquire into this, at least to appreciate that we are Jiva first, that we have taken several births, this is just one of them. That will be the first step. And the second one is to appreciate I am not even this Jiva, there is no coming and going in me. Example we had seen was of reflection. Sun getting reflected in that bucket of water. Coming and going is there in water, it is there in that reflection, but not in sun. The one who gets this conviction, that person is called as Jivan Mukta. One who knows I am not these conditionings. But where did he start his journey from? He started through inquiry. 5 questions he started reflecting upon. But where did he get content to churn for his reflection? He said he went to satsang. Satsangatve nissangatvam. Satsang brought right perspectives in his life. Whenever he had to take a decision, he had a new anchor to take decisions upon. And final culmination of satsang is in Jivan Mukti. Nischala Tattve Jivan Mukti. When this knowledge becomes firm, knowledge becomes clear, what is already a fact, that fact becomes true for me. Jivan Mukti is not going to be produced in some way. To know this fact that I am this pure consciousness, that part is owned up by that sadhaka. To get a beautiful mind, that part is not already established. That part is something he has worked towards. He has done his sadhanas, lived a life of values. Through that, mind has been purified. And for Jivan Mukti, both are needed. If knowledge is there and vasanas are very powerful, that person cannot enjoy Jivan Mukti. So in one text called as Jivan Mukti Viveka, Vidyananda Swamiji emphasizes this point. Even after knowledge, having a beautiful mind, non-bothering mind, that step is unavoidable. Either we do it before or we do it later. Means before knowledge or after knowledge. That part was of satsang. One who does thorough satsang, that person will reach this Jivan Mukti. Then Bhagwan said, while we are on this path, there can be some obstacles. What is that obstacle? Even if somebody has 1 unit of human happiness, 1 unit of human happiness, if Taittiriya Upanishad it was defined, somebody is young, healthy, resourceful, everything he has. Even then, Bhagavan said, use that condition, use that favorable condition to attain Govinda. Don't be proud about them because they are all going to be taken away by Kala. Harati nimeshat kalaha sarvam. They can be taken away by Kala, so there is nothing to be proud about it. What can be taken away actually doesn't belong to me. Right? Only one thing is there which can never be taken away. That thing we call as our Swarupa. Swarupa means that is my nature, which can never be taken away in any circumstance. That Swarupa is Chaitanya only. That Swarupa is Ananda. Abide in that. Rest everything is to help us to reach here. That was the last verse we had seen. Ma kuru dhanajana yavana garvam. Harati nimeshat kalaha sarvam. Maya mayamidam. Everything is maya maya. It appears to be some way, but very quickly it can change its form. Don't rely upon it as a support. Let our support be Govinda. The most reliable and stable support. Now we should remember that person is not saying, I will not hold on to anything else, or I will try to put other things down. He says even those other supports that he is seeking is keeping Bhagwan as the main support. For example, if body needs help, somebody is sick, body needs medication. Now he does not say, because Bhagwan is my support, I will not take medication. Right? So Vyavaharik supports are there, but he knows more than any aushadhi, the one that will really give support to that sadhaka is his devotion in the Lord. We had seen that thing last time, or maybe this time it will come. Jaba janaki nath sahaya kare, kaun bigada sakhe nara tero. If Bhagwan's grace is there, what is impossible for that sadhaka? That is his ashraya, not anything else. Rahu Ketu ke nahi gamyata. He says it is true that planets have effect on us. But if Janakinath Sahai is there, Rahu Ketu ke nahi gamyata. Rahu and Ketu cannot affect that sadhaka. So this is that anchor he has found. Now Bhagwan is going to introduce another topic. He says, there are different things in our life which we want to do. We have it on our to-do list for a long time. It could be something like, I want to study Sanskritam. I really have so much of reverence for Sanskritam. I love Sanskritam. But it has been there, not started. Or it could be some other, spiritual goal. Secular goal also we have, many of them. But here it's referring to spiritual goal. I want to start studying Bhagavad Gita. I want to start being more regular in my sadhana. So you ask that sadhaka, so what? Why are you not starting it? I say, let's wait for some time. Maybe after some time when things are good, all other problems are solved, I will come here and be very regular. Bhagavan says that is never going to happen. You see how our life is. Next verse, 12th verse. Dinayaminyau sayam pratah Shishiravasantav punarayatah Kala kridati gacchatyayuh Tadapi namunchatyashavayu Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam, Govindam Bhaja Mudhamate, Govindam Bhaja Mudhamate. If somebody asks us, how will our life be? How will our life be? Bhagavan says, it will depend upon how we have lived every year of our life. Aggregation of years only is our lifespan. So sum total of whatever we did in every year, that is going to decide how our life has been lived. How will our year be? He says, how you have lived every quarter. Every quarter of that year, how you have lived. That is, some of that is only how your year went by. How is that quarter? How have we lived every day? And more or less we find every day is the same. The things that we do from morning till evening, unless we put forth effort to change something. Our whole day routine, what we do in the morning, what we do in the afternoon, evening, night, what time we sleep, what time we wake up. More or less, we say it is the same. Dinayaminyam sayam pratah. Day is passing by, night is passing by. Yamini means night. Yamini also means night where there are stars and the moon is bright. Beautiful night, that is called as Yamini. Day is passing by, night is passing by. Dusk and dawn, Sayam Pratah. Sometimes spring forward, sometimes fall back. More or less it is the same. Shishira Vasantau Punarayatah. Every quarter is passing by. Shishira Vasantau means seasons. Winter is going by, summer is coming by. More or less the same thing. Kalah Kridati. I am not playing with life. Time is playing with me. Mean those goals which I wanted to start, they are still there. And he says time is sporting by, time is just flying by. Kalah Kridati. And life is passing by. Gacchati ayuhu. Tadapina munchati asha vayuhu. When this person says, sailboats, right, of the past, how they would go. That sailboat, that main condition or the main criteria is, you should set your sail right. Otherwise, wherever the wind wants, it will take you. He says if somebody is not careful in changing this asha vayu to kartavya vayu, then our life will be like that boat. Wherever the wind wants, means wherever the vasanas want, in that direction it is taken away. Tadapina munchati asha vayuhu. Means we will have to make some commitments to whatever altar, to whatever goal we are seeking. If you really want it, don't worry about how you are going to fulfill that commitment, just commit first. If the other person is pakka, they will make sure that your commitment is fulfilled. Means once you sign up for something, then you will be made to do that particular thing. That is the way to accomplish important things, in particular spiritual goals. Because I know what will come to our mind. There are so many goals that I have. And my whole challenge is how do I manage it? Time is less and there are more things we want to do. That's why the first 11 verses are important. We have been given this human body. What is the supreme most goal we should really accomplish? Keeping that in mind, Nalini dalagata jalamati taralam, life is so uncertain. Nahi nahi rakshati dukrun karane, secular knowledge will not help. Those verses, keeping them in mind, one who can keep spiritual goals and try to change their life to align to that goal. Bhagavan says if one does not do that, our life will be more or less the same. Mechanical life it will be. Days will pass by, years will pass by. Now our rishis, they were very cognizant of this fact that we will need some reminders. So they said we should have reminders at all intervals. Reminders for what? How have I lived my previous set of time? So there is a reminder on an annual basis. At work also we have this, right? Annual review meeting. How did this whole year go? That is our New Year day. In different cultures, there are different New Years, right? So what is the purpose on that day? To analyze how our year went by. Or you say our birthday. That day is actually not for outer celebration, for an adult. That day is to think, how have I lived my year? Aggregation of year only is life. Where I want to go and how my year has been. Then there are quarterly introspection times. That is all our festivals. Every festival, you will see there are different vratas people take. There are different things we do on that festival time. You see, that is to look at how is my immediate time span gone. Did I really do what I wanted? And unless this self-evaluation happens, no change really takes place. Imagine a workplace which is having plans, but no feedback, no reviews. You're just working. You don't know where you have reached, whether you have met your goal or not met your goal. So that person becomes very cognizant. In my life also I should take such reviews. And festivals are the time for that. Now what was a smaller unit? One day. So that one day, review time is our prayer time. Either in the morning or in the evening, just thinking about how my day went. I have heard something from Shastra, how my day should be, or how my life should be in general, how my response should be, what all things I should do in my life. Sufficient guidance we get, Bhagavad Gita, Ramcharitmanas. Bhagwan Rama did so many things, he expects his devotees also to do at least few of it. Whether I was able to accomplish that or not. This is, what do they call it? Stand-up meeting. Every day. 5 minutes, good enough. And Gurudev writes in his book, Meditation and Life. He says, do it for 6 months, you will see drastic results. He has given a chart also. What are the questions we should ask and how we should keep track. Now, whether we do it physically or not is different, but at least as a sadhaka, this self-evaluation should constantly go on. This is his quote, introspect daily, detect diligently. Only when we introspect, we will detect things which we really want to remove. Whatever things we have detected, and we know that this should not be there in our life, he said, negate ruthlessly. Don't keep the enemy in your home. He would give some examples also. He said, whatever things you don't want, those things should be taken out. Negate ruthlessly. But negating alone is not sufficient. Substitute wisely. Whatever other thing we can bring to substitute that part we have removed from life, that substitution, and he says, grow steadily. This is the way a sadhaka can grow towards his own goal, not somebody else's goal. What he has set for himself, towards that goal, he can go towards. If one does not do that, what is the life that is given in this verse? Dinayam inyau sayam pratah shishirava punarayatah. Time is sporting by. Actually, time is playing with us. We are not playing with time. This was the scolding that Vidurji gave to Dhritarashtra after Mahabharata war. When he goes to meet Dhritarashtra, he says the same shloka probably. Tadapina munchati ashavayuhu. So many things you have done in life. now is not the time to again indulge in the pleasures of kingdom. Now is the time when you should make spirituality as your priority and focus on that goal. And in Bhagavatam it is said, Dhritarashtra also gets moksha. Along with Gandhari, both of them go with Vidurji. Means what he's saying there is, one should take some concrete steps. Whatever is our goal, towards that, take concrete steps and stepping out of our comfort zone. Whatever is our comfort zone towards the goal is a step out of it, and then you see how things fall in place. Both of that is hinted in this verse. You know which is a pilgrimage spot when it comes to a river? Wherever that river turns towards its source, whenever that river takes a turn, it is at that place becomes a pilgrimage spot. And in our life also, whenever we feel like taking a turn within, some Shubha Sankalpa comes inside and we say, this is what I have to do now. It could be as simple as meditating 10 minutes a day, Nididhyasanam, or lighting a lamp every day, every day. And we realize even that becomes difficult sometimes, to do it every day. And to deepen that practice. If it is already being done, then it becomes sometimes mechanical, to make sure that we are able to hold on to it and put our mind in the Lord, at least for that short time. That is indicated by this verse. Asha Vayuhu getting replaced by Kartavya Vayuhu. Okay. Gurudev's another quote was, hasten slowly. Hasten slowly. Means whenever you hear this thing also, right? Sometimes you get overwhelmed. Oh my God, I'm not able to do this. I have so many things. He says, no. If we have the right goal and our heart is in the right place, when a bud becomes a flower, nobody knows. Can you point out? What point of time did this bud become a flower? He says, it just exposed itself to that sunlight. That sunlight did the job. I feel our journey as sadhaka is also like this. Keep doing whatever we are doing. Falling is never a problem. Yasya bhumau nipatitah tam alambhya uddharet. Wherever a person falls, taking support of that same ground, he has to stand up. That is a saying, in Sanskrit. So he might set goals and keep failing in those goals. But he says there is no other way. That alone one has to continue. Now this is the last verse of Bhaja Govindam. Last verse meaning the Dwadasha Manjari verses. It concludes at 13. So here Bhagwan is going to say, we have accomplished several things in life, several abilities we have cultivated in life. One of the ability is to drop worry. One of the ability is to drop worry. On what strength can one do this? That is hinted in the next verse. Kate kanta dhanagata chinta vatula kim tava nasti niyanta trijagati sajjana sangati reka bhavati bhavarnavatarane nauka bhaja govindam bhaja govindam bhaja mudhamate govindam bhaja There are two words. One is called as chinta, another is called as chintanam. One is called as chinta, another is called as chintanam. Interestingly, the root word for both of them is same. Chinta. Right? Chinta also comes from chinta. Chintanam also comes from chinta. Chinta means to think. If one thinks randomly, recollects randomly, concludes erroneously, that is called as chinta. Recollection is happening, because for thinking you need data from before. But if somebody can think thoroughly, align with Shastra, and conclude firmly, that is called as chintanam. He is able to reflect and arrive at a conclusion by which he can derive inner strength. That is called as chintanam. In spiritual parlance, chintanam can be done of so many topics, right? And even there, what is the definition of chintanam? Systematic inquiry. If you say he is a researcher and he does chintanam of some science topic, means what? He can systematically think about that topic, take the past data, and come to a relevant conclusion. So that is the beauty of Adhyatma Vidya, that it will remove chintanam from this sadhaka's life. How did he remove? That is this verse. Kate kanta dhanagata chinta. Kate kanta means what is chinta related to? All sambandhas. Kanta means wife over here, but all relations. So Bhagavan is asking that sadhaka, why are you so worried about this facet of your life? Sambandhas. Second is dhanagata chinta, related to wealth. Why are you so worried? Next line is a beautiful line we should keep repeating to ourselves. Vatula kim tava nasti niyanta. Means vatula. Vatula means somebody who goes like the wind. Vatula means one who sways like the wind. Sometimes he is here, sometimes he is there. Don't you have somebody who is taking care of your life? Niyanta means the one who takes care. If we have faith in that Niyanta, no situation looks bothering. I'd heard a nice story once. There was a small girl sitting in a flight. There was a lot of turbulence, in that flight. Everybody started panicking. Juice is going here, juice is going there. Nobody is able to drink anything. That much of turbulence. And this girl was nicely sitting, reading her book, some novel she was reading. And other people asked, aren't you afraid? She said, this pilot is my dad. I know that as long as he is there, nothing can go wrong. If we can have this Niyanta Bhava in our life, that my Niyanta is not a person, my Niyanta is Bhagavan. There was a Mahatmaji who would say, when God is near, why fear? He says, your sadhana is only this. Every day morning get up, say this 5 times. When God is near, why fear? That's English version of Tuma Rakshaka Kahu Ko Darana. Entire Hanuman Chalisa you study, this is the essence. There was another Mahatmaji. He had a sabha. Sabha means gathering every day. They would give a topic and everybody has to discuss on that topic. So one day a lot of sadhus had come. And his question was, how many of you are astikas? How many of you believe in God? He said, Swamiji, we are sadhus. We are all sadhus, we have taken this path. What is this question? How many of you believe in God? He raised their hand, everybody. And what was the next question? How many of you have chinta? How many of you worry? They had to be true, sadhus, right? They cannot tell a lie. Same hands went up. He said, both can't go together. This was Maharaj Ji. In fact, he had a more strict conclusion. He said, all of you are Nastikas. You called yourself Astika. How can you have Bhagwan as your Niyanta, at the same time say, I am afraid of something? When our children come to us and say, let's say they need something, need some new pen to write. And they go and ask neighbor that I need a pen. And you said, why did you go and ask them? You could have asked me. I was not sure, whether you will give it to me or not. How we will feel? You say, I am here to take care of you. I have been taking care from so long. Why this doubt today? That is how Bhagwan feels about us sometimes. Until now, he has done so many things for us, but the sadhaka still has chinta about either sambandha or dhana. This is where I was mentioning the song by Purandar Das ji, Entadaru Chinte Bidudu. He says, I went to different places and tried to find one person who is free from chinta. Everywhere I found people stressed out. Those who knew Shastra, he said they were stressed about teaching. Those who knew Tarka, they were stressed about convincing their point to other person. And then he went to some other, the example of Bhima was there. He was stressed about food getting over. But only devotee of the Lord is the one who was not having any chinta. Jimi Hari Sharana na ekavu badha. Sukhi meenaje neera agadha. Bhagwan Rama, when he is sitting in Kishkinda, monsoon season has come, he is drawing metaphors. Ghana Ghamanda, that portion. So there one metaphor he gives, if there is a fish in shallow water, it gets very anxious. Oh, summer season will come and this water will evaporate. But if it can be in deep water, that fish is very happy. Sukhi meenaje neera agadha. Wherever there is deep water, that fish is very happy. Jimi Hari Sharana, he says that depth is Sharanagati to the Lord. Jimi Hari Sharana na ekavu badha. That sadhaka doesn't have even one thing to complain about. That is the power of devotion to the Lord. Now some more practical points around this. You might say, it's very easy to say, don't have chinta, but it doesn't happen that way. So chinta is also thought about by Mahatmas. They say, what is the root cause of chinta? One chinta comes from not being prepared. About different things. In life also, not being prepared. If suddenly some situation comes, then we get chinta. Even in our day-to-day life, whatever things we are supposed to do, and we are not prepared for it, stress level goes up. For example, if I say, after this class, last 10 minutes, I'll call one of you to speak. Some of you will be very happy. Oh, I have done this. Looking forward to it. But some might get worried. I'm not prepared. I just came here to listen, just had my chai, and you are telling me you'll have to speak here. But let us say, we say we'll give you 2 months time. And we'll tell who is speaking on which day and topic also. And you go back and prepare, get all your examples, get all your points in place, everything is ready. Then you'll be upset if we cancel that session. Right? Imagine how much of chinta goes away just by being prepared. And for that preparation, one needs control over the mind. Because what will stop us from not preparing for important things is getting busy with unimportant things. So that is the sadhaka. One chinta is gone just by being well prepared. Now there is another facet of chinta, that even after being very well prepared, this sadhaka anticipates some opposite result. What if I forget? What if I go blank? That itself gives chinta, not that he is not prepared. That is the second category, where non-insistence on result will take away a lot of chinta. That result A is also okay, result B is also fine. Bhagavan says this kind of mindset is very, very hard to get even after studying a lot of Vedanta. Which mindset? Mindset of acceptance. Whatever Bhagavan gives, any result it can be, he says that result I am totally fine with. Whatever is Bhagavan's ichha, that is my ichha. And the last one, after doing everything, he says, still if chinta remains, he said, don't worry about it. Bhagavan is there to take care. Bhagavan is not saying if you are unprepared, if you don't follow the instructions which are given in Bhagavad Gita and Karma Siddhanta. He said, I also can do very little to take away your chinta. So Sharanagati involves all these facets. Preparation is also there. So Bhakta is not somebody who is unprepared. Anapekshaha shuchihi dakshaha. One of the indicator of Bhakta is who is very efficient. Daksha plans his life very well. Everything is there. But doesn't anticipate or project things. Mind has this ability to project things which are never going to happen. How many things you have projected until now? Very few happened. That ability is removed. It's not an ability actually, right? It's actually a flaw of the mind. That is removed. And the third one is having firm faith in that Niyanta who will take care of our life. Time and again we should have this reminder, Vatula kim tava nasti niyanta. To ourselves only we should say, hey Vatula, don't you have any niyanta? Bhagavan Shankaracharya has written Subramanya Bhujangam, where there is one verse which is very beautiful. All verses are beautiful, but one verse says, Yatabdes taranga layam yati tunga. Just like the waves of the ocean crash into the shore and disappear, Bhagavan says, this is my anubhava. My worries have disappeared when I kept it at the feet of the Lord. Where they went, I never knew, but it disappeared. That is this part of having Shraddha in Niyanta. Trijagati Sajjana Sangati Rekha. In all the three worlds, the only support that we have is satsang, where we can constantly get these perspectives. Bhavati Bhavarnava Tarane Nauka. Bhavarnava is staying in chinta. Staying in worry itself is Bhavarnava. Crossing over that is moksha. Main prayer is Tumarakshaka Kahu ko darana. Bhagavan, if you are there, what is there to fear? Now, great Mahatmas will show this same Nishchintata. If you want to find examples, we should find it in life of Mahatmas only. They are the right examples for this. Like we had seen one Mahatmaji, right? He told his devotees, don't pray for me when this body is going to depart or this body is going to be left away, because that will put an obstacle in Bhagwan's plan. He says, have no anxiety about even this body. That kind of Nishchintata cannot come without this bhava. And so many Pauranic stories are also there, where people have gone through so many hardships on this only strength that if Bhagwan is there, nothing is there to fear. Children, we say so many stories, right? Satya Harishchandra went through so many difficulties, lost everything. But one thing is always there with me, that is my bhakti. On the strength of that, no anxiety about losing, no anxiety about anything lost. Both is accomplished. With this, Bhaja Govindam is complete. Okay, which started with Nahi Nahi Rakshati Dukrun Karane, but we will continue. Shlokas are there, but now these shlokas are all other disciples. Teacher scolded that elderly person. Disciples are also in scolding mode now. Whoever is there in front, they are scolding. And that scolding becomes a shloka. Imagine their purity of heart. What Bhagwan Shankaracharya scolded that elderly person became Bhaja Govindam. So now this is somebody who is in sannyasa ashrama. Sannyasi, Bhagwan is scolding that sannyasi. This is said to be written by Padmapadacharya ji. Let us see what is the verse and then we will see. Jatilo mundi lunchita keshah kashayambar bahukruta veshah pashyannapi chana pashyati mudha yudara nimittam bahukruta veshah Bhaja Govindam Bhaja Govindam Govindam Bhaja Mudhamate Govindam Bhaja Mudhamate. If you were there in the morning class, we saw 4 ashramas in the morning class: Brahmacharya, Grahastha, Vanaprastha and Sannyasa. Sannyasa ashrama is the last ashrama. And every ashrama has its own glory. Brahmacharya is said to be the first brick in our personality. Stronger the first brick, more we accomplish Brahmacharya ashrama very well. Next ashrama can be very fruitful. Grahastha ashrama becomes easier. Grahastha ashrama led in a dharmic way, done duties well with karma yoga buddhi. Vanaprastha ashrama becomes effortless. Vanaprastha done well, natural culmination of Vanaprastha is in sannyasa. Now this is a seeker who has done all this. It could also be that he has studied under a teacher, done Shravanam also, and then has taken sannyasa. But somewhere in between, he lost sight of his goal. Goal should have been Brahma, but he went for some external appearance. For that sadhaka, Bhagwan is giving this verse. And this example, if you want to find, is sometimes even in Kumbh Mela and other places. You will find so many people who are doing so many other things. They'll say, nails we have not cut for 25 years. Or they will bury themselves under the sand. Only head is up. And when Swamiji would say, if there are 2 tents, let us say, one tent, Brahma Sutra class is going on. Another tent, somebody is like this. Which tent do you think will have more crowd? So to that second one, naturally. So Brahma Sutra I am not understanding anyway. Let's just go and see that Babaji, something might be there. And they'll advertise also results in that way. So they have defined themselves based on what other people find appealing. That is the slippery slope of sannyasa. Bhagwan says, you have come so far. Why not reach home, that main goal for which you started this path? What are the things that this person does? Jatilo mundihi, grows lot of jata. Long jata he has. Lunchita keshaha, takes different austere tapasyas. Now remember, there are great Mahatmas who take up this tapasya. Their goal is very different. Their goal is Brahma. But this is somebody who has made outer popularity as the goal. For that person, this criticism is not, a sincere sadhaka. He said, Lunchita kesha. One by one, he is removing his hair. Very painful, Lunchita kesha. Kashayambara bahukruta vesha. Kashaya here refers to cloth that has been dyed. And there is a tradition where they don't wear stitched cloths. If that person is sannyasi, they will not wear anything stitched. Even there is austerity. That color of that cloth is also not painted or anything, it is dyed in a block. All of that he is wearing. But Bhagavan says, if you have missed your goal, even though seeing, you are not seeing it. Pashyan api chana pashyati. Pashyan api na pashyati. Pashyan api chana pashyati mudha. There are two ways to interpret this. One is, you are seeing that goal which is pointed out to you by your teacher. Remember, this is a sannyasi who has done Shravanam probably, gone to a teacher, and teacher has showed him this goal. But because he got sidetracked by popularity or some other goal, he says, Pashyan api na pashyati. Even though seeing, you are choosing not to see it. And another meaning is, if somebody does this, right, just focus on outwardly experience, outwardly appearance, there will be a lot of hollowness inside. And this hollowness is something that even he notices it. But he says you are choosing to unsee that hollowness also. Pashyan api na pashyati. Even though seeing it, you are not seeing it. Pashyati mudaha yudara nimittam bahukrutaveshaha. Yudara nimittam means only for filling up his belly. He says you are doing all this external appearances. Now this is the literal meaning of the verse. Pashyan api chana pashyati mudaha yudara nimittam bahukrutaveshaha. The main takeaway is, goal forgotten means path will also be forgotten. If goal is forgotten, or if goal is erroneous, path will also become erroneous. It happens in our day-to-day life also. You go to buy something, if you forget what you have gone to buy, sometimes you end up with everything except that thing. Or it happens in conversations. You call somebody, you start talking. You talk everything under the sun, and you forget, why did I call? You keep the phone and again you call. I wanted to say something. Goal forgotten, path forgotten. He says, don't make that case. Don't be that way in spiritual goal. Okay? Pashyan api chana pashyati mudaha. Now there are some other facets to this shloka. Now we saw the literal meaning. Now sometimes children might ask, or even we get this question, why do sannyasis wear ochre robes? Is it mandatory for a sannyasi to wear ochre robes? Think of it this way. There are different professions which have their own robes. Army has its own dress. Military people have their own dress. Even aircraft pilots, they have their own dress. And the first thing is, just wearing that dress has an effect on the mind. And only the person who wears it will be able to appreciate it. Wearing that dress has an impact on our mind. And all of us are familiar with it. Business casuals, business formals. You go in casuals, you go in formal, it has a lot of difference. Although now work from home, nothing is there. No casual, no formal, everything is same. Video is off anyway. So having dress, that thing itself has an effect on the mind. Why do we wear new clothes on Diwali day? You say, wear it and see, it makes a difference. Just the way we dress has an impact on the mind. And only the person who has worn it, only they'll be able to tell. Okay? In the same way, ochre robes also have an impact on the mind. Now it's not only impact on the mind, it's also a reminder. Reminder for ourselves, reminder for others. Now that pilot, if you see, you will not find them breaking rules of aviation, either inside or even outside. They are not supposed to. When they are in that dress, they are expected to wear, or whenever they are wearing that dress, they are expected to follow certain rules. Because other people are looking up to them. Right? So that dress serves as a reminder. Reminder to themselves and reminder to others also. In the same way, ochre robes, they also serve a reminder to them, reminder to others. Third thing is, what was the first one? It has an impact on the mind. Second one is, it is a reminder. It's a reminder. Third thing is, it's an indication that we should ask them relevant things. We don't go to a military person and start asking them about legal things. We don't go to doctor and start asking them something else. Right? We ask a military person, what does it mean to be fearless? What does it mean to have confidence inside? What does it mean to sacrifice? How could you walk away from home with so much of courage? Those things we can get insights in. In the same way, ochre robes are also a reminder one should get the right perspectives. Meaning what? Even if you are asking something about the world, this perspective expected is spiritual. It does not mean he should always have a Vedantic question. What is Atma? What is Anatma? That is good. If somebody can ask it, very good. But even if something else is being asked, what they are really seeking is a spiritual perspective, not another worldly answer. Puja Guruji would say, he said he had heard it from another saint, that go to a saint not to ask your future, but to make your future. That what is it that I need right now by which I can live my life in a better way. That much is good enough. We don't need any other thing. So all these are under seeking that perspective. Ochre robes are reminder for all this, different facets. Now there is another line to it, right? Yudara nimittam bahukruta veshaha. That one scolding was here only for the purpose of bhiksha. Why did you make all these external appearances? You don't have to make so many things only for such a petty goal. But now what is the symbolic meaning of bhiksha? Why is it sought? Why is it asked? There is one shloka where we chant, Jnana Vairagya Siddhyartham Bhiksham Dehi Cha Parvati. This sadhaka is chanting it. He says, I am going to seek bhiksha because I want to focus on jnanam and try to cultivate a beautiful mind, which is vairagya. I am seeking knowledge and I am seeking vairagya. If that is the goal, then that person is entitled to take bhiksha. And in olden days, it was madhukari bhiksha. 5 houses you can go. Whatever is gained in those 5 houses, one has to be content. Sometimes more, sometimes less. If it is more, they have to stop before 5. If it is less, they cannot go more than 5. Okay. So this is, one is from receiver standpoint, why we are seeking bhiksha. Now Puja Guruji, when Guruji was explaining this verse, Puja Guruji pointed out another meaning of it. He said, Jnana Vairagya Siddhyartham does not happen only for the receiver. It happens to the giver also. The one who gives bhiksha gets jnanam and gets a beautiful mind. And Guruji explained it with a beautiful story of Samartha Ramdas ji. Samartha Ramdas ji was the guru of Shivaji Maharaj. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Same mantra, not even one word here and there. Did Purascharana, had darshan of the Lord. That was Samartha Ramdas ji. Lot of compositions in Marathi, very popular ones, written by him. So he went for Bhiksha one day, and early morning it was, maybe 9 o'clock or something, went for Bhiksha. And in hot places, they put cow dung outside in the courtyard so that it cools down, This lady was putting that cow dung outside. And maybe she was in some different mood. And not everybody appreciates also who is a sannyasi, what they are seeking. She was so annoyed looking at him early morning. Said, again you have come to ask Bhiksha. And she scolded him. Took that cow dung and put it in his bag. He was having a cloth bag, put it in his bag. Samartha Ramdas ji blessed her. He said, may your family be very happy, may everything be good with you. And he went away. And he said, okay, what should I do now? Cow dung is there, I cannot take anything else also. So he went to a river and started washing that bag. Now our mind is such, after we do something, mind only tells, why did you have to do this? Such a saint was there who did not even say anything back to you. Why did you have to tell him for Bhiksha like this? So he goes and he washes, makes wicks from that cloth bag. He washes that bag, makes wicks out of that bag, puts it in a lamp and keeps it in front of Lord Rama. And when he does that, it is said her heart there was getting washed. As he was washing the bag here, her heart was getting purified and she becomes devotee of Samartha Ramdas ji. And Ramdas ji was somebody who would never be in one place, going from one place to another. So she goes all the way to find where he is and finally comes and surrenders to him. The point is, started with a small fact, but jnana and vairagya comes to both. That's what Guruji wanted to explain. Huh? On one hand, jnana vairagya siddhyartham is for the receiver, but jnana vairagya siddhi also happens for the giver, like in the case of that devotee. Jnana vairagya siddhyartham viksham dehi cha parvati. If this is understood, he says the whole thing is meaningful. Because in our Shastra it is said, external indicator is not a criteria for moksha. If somebody says, this is said in Upanishad only, I'm giving lot of pravachans, lot of texts, lot of pravachan. Is moksha guaranteed for me? Not necessarily. Not necessarily. I'm able to remember lot of things. Cross connect, quote also. Is moksha guaranteed? Not necessarily. I attend all classes. Wherever there is satsang available, I am available. Is moksha guaranteed? He says no. Nayam atma pravachanena labhyah, na medhaya, na bahuna shrutena. Then by what will I get? Yame vaisha vrunute tena labhyah. That person who really seeks the Lord, who really seeks Atma, that person will get. Meaning what? Keeping Atma as the goal, he does pravachan. Keeping Atma as the goal, he does memorizing. Memorizing little bit is helpful. Huh? Those ideas keep coming back, we can reflect more. Do you want to try? Karmanyevadhikaraste. Good, that much is good. So now, whenever I get worried, I should be thinking, am I getting worried about something which is under my control, karma? Or am I getting worried about some karma phala? Some result of action which has to come, am I getting worried about that? Or am I getting worried about something in my hand? This happened to me once, when we were doing that camp, Mahabharata and Ramayana camp. Somebody came and asked, how will you define success in this camp for yourself? I said if children have a good time, I will consider that this camp is successful. Now I came back and started thinking, how can I guarantee that children will have a good time? It is up to them, right? Whoever is coming, whatever they are doing, so many factors are there. Prepare well for the camp, that is in my hands. How I prepare my content, make it relevant to them, give the right examples. Now what am I getting worried about? Phala or karma? So those are the mananam that should happen for us in our own capacity. And then Shravanam also he does, but mainly to get clarity about this knowledge. If anything else becomes the goal, that I want to listen so that I can tell somebody else, he said there is no guarantee we will reach our goal. Why did we bring up this point? Because this other person who has been spoken about here, Jatilo Mundi Lunchita Kesha, he is the one who has missed this goal. Goal missed means path also missed. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.